I don't know. Okay, so hi guys, Josh again, in case you forgot who I was. I'm gonna talk about prom. Hey! Once upon a time, in a high school far, far away, Cape Coral, it was the end of my junior year, and prom was coming up. So it was the end of the school year, and I was in a bunch of AP classes, which are advanced placement classes. You can get college credit for classes you take in high school if you do well on a test, whatever. Okay, so I had finished taking the tests already, so in those classes we weren't doing anything anymore. So for like 6 out of 8 periods, I could just like do whatever I wanted basically, because we were just watching movies or like chilling. So a lot of the time I would go to the library and just hang out, like go on the computer or surf the web. And as this was the end of the year for a lot of other people, sometimes others would be in the library too. So once I was in the library, and an acquaintance of mine came in with one of her friends, and they sat next to me, and we were all on the internet together. It was pretty cool. Then the next day, out of the library, they came back, and we hung out again, the 3 of us. It was nice. What would we do? We would go on, this is the nerdiest thing ever. We would go on freerice.com. Freerice.com, if you don't know, is a website that quizzes you on general knowledge questions about different subjects. And if you get it right, it donates rice to an organization. You can test your knowledge and donate rice at the same time. So her and I and her friend would always do this. And that's what we would do, like, for probably a week. We would just meet up and do freerice.com. And it was like a nice thing, right? But as we were hanging out, I was kind of realizing that she treated me differently. Like, I don't know, sometimes she would put her hand on my leg, and I was like, okay, does that mean she likes me? I don't know. She would sit really close to me and like lean on my shoulder while I'm playing free rice. And I'd be like, does that mean she likes me? I don't know. I was a stupid idiot back then. I did not catch on to any of it. So for the sake of these videos, we're gonna call her Elton John. That went on for a couple of weeks. We'd meet up at the library, kind of be like a little affectionate to each other, but like I didn't think it was weird or anything. So that was what we would do for like a couple weeks, and then prom came up. I went with a group of my friends. I didn't go with a date or anything. It was a stereotypical prom. A bunch of people you don't really want to be around, and then a bunch of music you don't really like. But then they started playing this one hip hop song, and I was like a dog when you say treat, like my ears like, I don't know, you know what? That was me right there. I don't know, a group of people started coming around me. I don't know, everything just kind of faded away, and I was like breakdancing. It was awesome. Like out of nowhere, I did this crazy stunt, and it was like, Josh knows how to dance. Yeah, of course. That kind of got me in the zone, you know? I was like really hyped up after that. And the music still sucked, and the people were like, okay. But I was like enjoying myself, actually. This other guy, I don't really know him all that well, but he's like kind of more popular. I don't know, he's known for his prowess with the ladies, let's say. We don't really talk all that much, but he comes up to me, he's like, hey, yo, Josh, wanna be my wingman? Yeah, sure, dude, let's go. And then we hit the dance floor, the 2 of us. We were stunning. I was in my tux, looking fresh, so was he. It was looking nice. It was awesome. So then I see through the crowd, I see Elton John. And like the lights hitting her hair is flowing perfectly. She smiles just coincidentally when I look at her, and I see her through the crowd, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I indicate, let's go that way. So we walk on over to them. So it's me and that guy, and then it's Elton John and one of her friends. And then the guy who I was with was like, may I have the next dance? And he walks up to Elton John, and they walk off. And I was left with her friend, who I never knew before. So I was like, oh no, what a mess. The guy who I was with, the wingman guy, he was trying to like bump and grind with Elton John and all that stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. You don't know that song? Oh, it's good. But I could tell that she wasn't having it. She was not about that life. So he would like try to like get in a position, and she would like get in another position. You know that awkward thing like at the club and stuff? Like, I don't know. So it was like that weird vibe going on there. And then the opposite problem was happening to me. I was with her friend, and she was all about that, like, and I was like, hey, let's get some fruit punch or something. She was all up on, and I was not, and it was not good. It was not good. So I look at the wingman guy, he looks at me, we see the situation we're going through, and then we give each other that look, like, and so we switch partners, right, after like 2 or 3 songs. And then I'm dancing with Elton John, and then, you know, we're dancing like normal, I guess. And then I look at her and I'm like, you know, I'm not into like all the... She looks at me like, me neither. And I'm like, oh my gosh. What we do is we start doing cheesy like Disney Channel movie style dance moves. It was kind of hilarious, kind of sad. Because, like, you know when you step back, go forward, kick your feet together, step back, go forward, kick your feet together, and we're doing like this thing where you like do that, and we were actually doing that. It was the cheesiest thing ever, but it was kind of awesome at the same time. So we're in the middle of that, and then out of nowhere, the DJ says, well, get your partners, cause it's the last song of the night. It's gonna be a slow dance. And I was like, I've never done a slow dance before. But how hard could it be, right? So you know, I kind of like do that thing, and she does her thing, and I'm like, okay, sway side to side. This is gonna be okay. And, you know, Aerosmith's all like, I don't want to miss a thing. And then we were there, and we're like kind of close, and I sat there thinking like, wow, this girl, she's amazing. I think I might like her. This is the perfect time. Slow dancing at prom. This is the time to do something. I need to say something perfect right now. So I pushed her away from me just a little bit so we could have the eye contact. Her hair is like flowing perfectly. The light hits her just right. She smiles and she looks at me, and I'm like, Elton John. Yes. Your hair smells really nice. Okay, thanks. And then we go back to our slow dancing. And the whole time for the rest of the song, I was just like, stupid. Gosh, failure. The song ends. And then we kind of separate, look at each other. It was that moment, like that moment out of a movie or something. The music was stopping. Everybody was kind of walking away. The lights were shutting down just a little bit. And it was just like her and I. It was like just her and I were alone. And then I look at her eyes, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll see you around. And she looks at me like, okay, see ya. And we walk away from each other. I'll tell you, I felt so stupid. So I'm like, no, I can't let it end like this. I can redeem myself. I can be a man. Let me say something. Let me turn around, grab her, and say something perfect. So I turn around, I look through the crowd, and I'm like, Elton John. She turns around. Hair flowing in the wind, light hits her just right. She smiles perfectly. Yes, everything blurred except for her face in the crowd. Everybody was walking, nothing mattered. It was just her face through the crowd. And I look at her and I'm like, I'll text you. Okay, and I leave. But of course, like any good prom story, this takes place over several days. At least the consequences of these actions. So you're gonna have to subscribe if you want to see what happens next.